I'll just take my face mask down. Good afternoon. I hope this message finds you and your families well. And I hope you enjoy the great weather that we're hopefully going to be having soon and get out and doing some exercise. As you know, every Sunday I release a weekly update video that we post on social media to give all parents and carers and our young people an update of the week ahead. I've also been releasing a written newsletter update that we've been sending out via expressions and email. Our plan is to pull both of those together and go back to our vlog that we had a few years ago and send that out to all parents and carers on a Sunday evening, just so that you're aware of the events that are coming up. It also means that you're not just going to be hearing from me, which I'm sure you'll be pleased to know, and you're going to be hearing from other members of staff in our school and also our young people and what they've been experiencing during lockdown and as part of the phased return. Now this week, you're going to hear about our phased return plans and how it's been going on. You're going to be hearing about our Primary 7 transition work that's been taking place during lockdown, our S3 reports, our S3 options process, and then you're going to hear a little bit about some mental health support, and at the end you'll hear about something that we are planning to introduce, which is a question and answering session for parents and carers if you've got any questions regarding SQE or whatever, but we'll talk about that at the end. I hope you find this vlog useful and enjoy listening to the members of staff.
Hi, Mr. Gallagher here. First of all, I'd just like to thank those of you that have sent in messages to mark my return to Dunoon Grammar School. I really do appreciate it. It's so kind of you to take the time, and it really is much appreciated, so thank you. It's been fantastic first week back at the school. We have welcomed a number of senior pupils, S4 to S6, back to the school to work on practical subjects. And it's been fantastic to see the young people make the smooth transition back to in-class learning. I visit all classes 2 to 3 times a day during this period of phased return, and I've been extremely impressed with the maturity and the approach that the young people have brought to getting back into doing their practical work. So well done to all of you who have attended last week. The schedule for the week ahead can be found on the Dunoon Grammar School website. 2 minor changes to the schedule. On Monday, the National 4-5 art session for S4 will be half a day. However, the young people are welcome to stay in the school to work on their Google Classroom work, and alternative accommodation will be allocated to them for that purpose. And on Thursday, a handful of hairdressing students, National 5 hairdressing students, will be in the salon to complete some additional practical work. So the 2 slight additions to what you'll find on the website. We're extending the day, so lessons as of the week ahead will start at 8:45, and Monday to Wednesday they'll finish at 3:45, and Thursday and Friday will be the usual 2:40 finish. So we're looking forward to seeing a number of you back in the school in the week ahead. We'd like to remind you that facts apply when you're in the school, so please wear a face covering. Make sure you're sanitising your hands as you enter the school and as you enter and exit classrooms, and there's plenty of sanitising stations throughout the school building. I'd also ask that the young people continue to adhere to the physical distancing of 2 metres, both in social areas and in classrooms, and I've been delighted to see that those of you that attended last week have been doing that superbly, so thank you. One final aspect to do with the phased return, and that is COVID testing. I come around each class with the opportunity for the young people to take part in the COVID testing programme. It is voluntary, it is not compulsory. However, both the school and the government strongly encourage young people to sign up and participate in the COVID testing programme. Young people are 16 or over can self-certify, and I can issue the consent forms for them to do that, or they may choose to take the materials home to speak with their folks at home and to fill in the details to then return to myself. If they're under 16, they would need to do that anyway. And on receipt of the consent form, I will issue first batch of COVID tests. If you run out of COVID tests, you will attend the school office. They'll have a record of those of you who have returned the consent form, and they'll issue new batches of testing kits as and when required. You'll be asked to test twice a week, Wednesday mornings and also Saturday mornings. Takes just over half an hour. You have to wait half an hour for the test result to be processed. So if you're attending school on the Wednesday, please factor that into your morning routine to make sure you can get that done before you can attend school. If you've got any questions at all about the phased return or COVID testing, please do not hesitate to get in touch with myself at the school, paul.galliner@argyll-bute.gov.uk. Delighted to now pass over to Mr. Mitchell, who's been speaking to the wonderful Rachel about her experience of attending the hub. We'll see you again soon.
Okay, we're lucky to be joined by Rachel, who's one of our pupils who's been attending the hub during lockdown. We're just going to hear a little bit about her experience that she has had in the hub. So, Rachel, have you enjoyed being in the hub during lockdown?
Yeah.
Have you preferred being in the hub than maybe learning at home and doing online learning?
Yeah, because it's much better being in the hub because you get to get support from the teachers and all that. And at the house you did get support, but it's much easier in the hub.
Good, and I'm glad you've enjoyed it and you've had that support, which has been beneficial for you. What have you missed about not being in school?
Just all of it.
Have you missed your teachers?
Yeah.
All the staff have certainly missed all the pupils as well. So looking forward, what are you looking forward to about returning to school?
I know it won't be the exact same normal, but at least we'll see all my friends again and go back to the classes and all that.
Good. And have you enjoyed being in the hub? Because it has been busy, having a little bit of that social time with some of your friends.
Yeah, it's good being in the hub.
Nice to see them.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you and all the other pupils in the school back as soon as possible.
Hi everyone, it's Sam Stewart here, Deputy Head Teacher at Dunoon Grammar School. Right from the start of this year, we set up a Primary 7 transition parent carer closed Facebook page, and that is where all information is shared. However, we acknowledge that not every parent and carer is on Facebook. So I also create a newsletter on a fairly regular basis. I think we've had 2 or 3 out already, whereby information is shared. I send on those newsletters to primary head teachers and they cascade them out to our P7 parents and carers. Myself and Mrs. Helen Campbell, Head of House for Milton, who has responsibility within the guidance team for transition. She supports me as part of the transitions team here at Dunoon Grammar School. We have met with every single Primary 7 class twice via Google Meet, and we will be looking to meet with them for a 3rd time before the Easter holidays. We have now had 2 parental information evenings, one back in November and one back, we just have them as of the last week, with every single parent carer group from every single cluster primary. And thank you very much for your attendance at those parents and carers. We really have appreciated your support, and hopefully you found those sessions informative. I carried out an evaluation of the first evening, and I'll send out a wee evaluation link in the coming days for the 2nd evening that we've just recently held. In January, we set up a Primary 7 Google Classroom, transition classroom, which has been absolutely well received by our Primary 7s. In some posts, we've had up to 600 plus comments. Young people are building relationships with us, they're building relationships with one another, which is actually fantastic. And we will continue to use the P7 Transition Google Classroom as a platform to share information with our young people, as a platform where they can ask questions and seek some reassurance, as well as somewhere where we're able to perhaps provide some examples of curriculum work that they are going to experience when they transition into S1 come August. Unfortunately, Ben Moore will not be able to run this year, but we're hoping that we'll be able to put something on next session for our current, well, for our soon-to-be S1s, and we acknowledge that the current S1s haven't had a BEMWAR experience, so we haven't forgotten about that. We will bear that in mind. What else have I been up to transition-wise? We are currently also working our way through a whole range of almost 150 transition pro formas completed by primary 7 teachers on every single young person in the cluster who's going to be transitioning up to the grammar school. And that information is really it's absolutely invaluable, because we're now going to start thinking about how we're going to put the classes together. It is going to be the biggest year group in the school, and from the looks of the Google Classroom, the most sociable year group as well. So we're going to, obviously, we've been thinking about how many classes we will need, how many practical sets we will need, so on and so forth. So we are starting that process now of thinking about putting the classes together, and more information with regard to that will come out over the coming months. As soon as we get further guidance from the Scottish Government and from the local authority, I will be in touch with regard to having primary class bubbles up into the grammar school building, if allowed. That's probably what's going to happen in the first instance as far as a physical visit to the school is concerned. We are remaining hopeful and optimistic that we'll be able to have some sort of transition week, and if not a week, then a few days before the summer holidays. But please don't worry if this isn't able to go ahead. The current first year experienced a fully virtual transition, and then in August we brought for one day the year group in by themselves so they could have the grammar school to themselves. And we made sure as well that we always have young people shown around by our junior pupil leadership team. Young people are allowed out before early before break and lunchtimes. We put a whole range of different things in place to support young people in settling into the grammar school building. I think that's it for now. But please, a wee reminder to P7 parents and carers, if you've got any questions or concerns about the transition process, please don't hesitate to contact me on samantha.stewart@argyll-bute.gov.uk. And in the meantime, I look forward to meeting with you all again soon. I am wanting to give you a wee update with regard to the S3 report, which is going to be sent out to parents and carers on Friday the 5th of March. And I also wanted to give you an update on all things concerning P7 transition. Although I'm not year head for S3, I am responsible in the school for the tracking and monitoring of young people's levels between S1 to S3. In Mr Johnson's absence, while he is off on secondment, I am overseeing the reporting of S1, S2 and S3. Obviously the S2 report has not long been issued, and we've now had our options week for S2. Now it's the turn of S3. Now the S3 report is going to look slightly different than the S2 report, and I'll just show you what the template looks like. Right now we have our teaching staff completing this virtually for you. And then next week I have the job of collating it all together. So just give Google Meet a wee minute. Okay, so this is what the S3 report is going to look like. We have gone with an S3 recommendations report. The rationale behind this is because our young people in S3 should be continuing with the majority of their subjects, almost all of their subjects, into S4. Obviously, young people will be dropping two subjects as they then specialise in the subjects that they're going to sit national qualifications in. So what your teachers are doing just now at S3 they are providing you with a recommendation as to the level that you would be sitting if you were taking their subjects into S4. So obviously all young people will have English and maths, and then you'll have your remaining subject areas down here. And as I've said, your teachers are putting a recommendation down in here. Now, the recommendation is that it's a recommendation, but obviously we have been working in a period of remote learning. So please don't, think that the levels are absolutely inflexible, that there's no opportunity to change them at any point. Staff should be, and we have advised this, staff should be given young people the most aspirational recommendation, whereby if a young person was working at their absolute hardest, they would be able to achieve, for instance, National 5. The recommendation should be National 5. We obviously want our young people to achieve the absolute highest level of national qualification that they can. Now, you might be concerned, parents and carers, about the fact that there's not much more detail in the report other than the recommendation. I just want to assure you that we've been in discussions at SLT with the senior leadership team about holding a very early S3 parents evening in the new session, whereby staff are able to obviously to meet with you and give you further information in much more detail with regards to your young people's strengths and areas of development, so that they can continue to work on those right from the offset, from the start of S4 onwards. You also will have an opportunity to catch up with your head of house, your young person's head of house, during the S3 options week. Where they'll be able to perhaps give you a wee bit more information as well, based on previous reports and data that we have currently for your young person. So that's a little bit about the S3 report. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions. I know Mr. Gallagher is going to be putting together some questions off the back of anything that you submit. He's going to be providing those to us and directing them so that we can answer and give you some clarity on some of the things perhaps that are causing any concern that you might be querying.
Hi, my name is Kirsty Campbell and I'm one of the deputies at Dunoon Grammar School. I'm also year head for S3 and S6. I just wanted to give you a quick update regarding the S3 options process. By now, all S3 pupils should have submitted their dry run options form into the House Google Classroom. And the week ahead involves us pulling all of that information together to create your options form. Friday, the 5th of March, all S3 pupils will receive their S3 report, and that will give a recommendation from your teachers about the level of study that you would be expected to follow going into S4. Then on Monday, the 8th of March, your final S3 into S4 options form will be issued within the House Google Classroom. And the final deadline for submission of that options form is Friday, the 12th of March. And again, that should be submitted within your House Google Classroom. If anyone has any questions regarding any of your subjects or needing any appointment with a careers advisor, for example, then please do get in touch either with myself or with your head of house. We also have a brilliant opportunity for all S4, S5 and S6 pupils through CME. Now, most of you will hopefully know that we work quite closely with CME. CME are a mental health charity who tackle stigma and discrimination around mental health. And they've given us a fantastic opportunity to take part in a pilot programme called the CME Toolkit. And we're one of only a handful of schools across Scotland who are being offered the opportunity to take part in this. This course will also be accredited with the SQA Mental Health Award, which is fantastic too. We are currently issued in all of the year group Google Classrooms for S4, S5 and S6 a notice about this, and we've asked that anyone who would be interested in taking part in this pilot, they should email Mr. Strathd, and he has given his email address within that notice. The way that this will be delivered is through the CME youth workers and volunteers, and the training will actually take place in the evening. There will be 3 live sessions delivered provisionally on a Tuesday evening between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night. And that will take place week beginning the 15th of March, week beginning the 22nd of March, and week beginning the 29th of March. There will also be an online PDF document that you will be working through as well, and you'll be guided through that by the CME volunteers. So a fantastic opportunity. Please get in touch if you've got any further questions about it, but it'd be really great to see as many of you putting yourself forward for that as possible. Thank you and have a good week.
I hope you enjoyed listening to all the news and all the activities and things that are going about to take place in Dunoon Grammar School. Finally, I just want to kind of let you know about a final opportunity, a new opportunity we're going to offer parents and carers, and it's a question and answering session. We're going to use the vlog as an avenue to answer any questions or concerns that any parents and carers have about our school life. It could be anything to do with the phased return, it could be to do with SQA questions, or for example all the safety measures we're putting in place as we plan to bring our young people back to Dunoon Grammar School. So anything that you have, any questions or concerns, if you drop me an email at david.mitchell@argyll-bute.gov.uk, and if you can do that by Tuesday, we will use the vlog to answer the questions as best we can, and I hope you're going to find that useful. Okay. In the meantime, I hope you had a great weekend and look forward to another week of online learning. And if there's anything that any of the school staff can do, please get in touch. Remember, thanks for listening and take care and stay safe.
Guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is my mom. She's a teacher.
Rudy.